Minimum 2 nights. Come on, talk to me. You mean, hey.
Can we, producer? Can we say some things about Step Against?
Yes, we can.
Are we good with it?
Yeah.
No, I'm talking in terms of talking to Tika.
Yeah.
Not okay with that.
Oh, no.
Move on.
Okay. And then, man, you all that don't know already, man, 3 of some of the baddest groups coming together right here in Atlanta, Georgia. YOLO Steppers, Twisga, and Chicago Steppers in Atlanta, which is Chicken Wing and Miss Mary. And yours truly, we coming together, man, for the first annual Spring Anniversary Jam.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Right here in Atlanta, Georgia, March 31st through April the 2nd. And man, we already have the one and only WZON's headliner, DJ Dan. And man, we bring in also DJ Sizzle from WZONradio.com. And man, we're going to have ourselves a good time. And guess what? For you all that don't know, this is breaking news.
Go ahead.
Y'all ready for it?
Yes. I don't know.
Man, we already...
I don't know. The last time you asked when we ready, you got engaged.
No. You ready? We have the one and only Sarah LaSoule's going to be in the building. Yes, sir. And then our workshop instructors are coming soon. I know they're going to be there, but I ain't going to put them out there just yet. But they will be there. I already know it. So y'all get ready, man. Get your tickets right now. The tickets are $65 for the first 100 tickets.
Okay.
And that ends on January 31st. But again, if the 100 is gone, then it's $75 after that. So don't sit around and wait.
Do I have to get a...
And DJ Sizzle is the female.
Do I have to pay? I got to pay it? Okay. They ain't no press pass. I'm pressed. I'm pressed.
We ain't giving out no press pass.
Okay.
We're going to ban all cameras in the room.
This is a shame.
Ain't gonna happen.
When I tell you this is ridiculous, this is ridiculous. Let me tell y'all something going forward. I'm glad you brought that up. If you're having an event and you would like for Talking Tea with Tika and
Sipping Tea, co-host Will,
to be in the building, you need to send us some press passes. I'm going to tell you something. We're going to pump your event up. We'll even go live there, but that's coming for 17. That's just a little hint for you. There you go. We ready?
We ready.
Well, do y'all see this young man that's sitting right here beside me? Do y'all see this?
I see him.
The one and only.
One and only.
The one and only. Ronnie B. What's up?
What up, Ronnie B?
Thank you for coming to join us today.
Thanks for having me.
Why are you looking at my wig like that?
Because,
it's making me hot.
Because when you turn that way, you block all of it.
All this is on me. I got all this is all dark. So this is darkness.
Yeah.
This is dark. I want to be strong. I'm about to burn up.
Her wig making me hot, y'all.
With this wig and this black, I'm about to die. I'm trying to be strong. I'm trying to be strong.
I got a thing wrong while you're talking here.
Baby, your sister is hot. That's why you look.
It's representing power. So I see that. You feel me?
Do that again. Swing your head real hard again like that. Man, that's a good breeze.
It's a breeze. That was a little shade, but I'm going to let that go. But thank you for being here with us this morning. I am really, really honored that you're here.
Yes.
Now, the topic today is Strong Black Woman. But I wanted to have you, of course, on the panel to kind of talk about some of these interesting points that we're going to bring up. Okay. But I would be remiss not to say something about... Really? Is it that bad? You're making me hot, Will. Stop. Seriously.
Don't beg too far. You always take the glasses over with the hair.
I'm not being funny.
It would be, not to say something, but first of all, how long have you been stepping?
Well, now you're putting me on the spot. Now, I've been stepping since I was 16, and I just made 56 in December, so that's like 40 years.
Man, that's hot.
Wow. You know, he told his age, so folks
I ain't ashamed.
All right.
Let me ask you this. Since you've been dancing so long, you've seen, not from the inception, of course, but you've seen different styles of it. You've seen different waves of it when at one point people weren't stepping, they were bopping, they were discoing, was stepping that someone died and they came back and all this kind of stuff. And you are from Chicago, correct?
Correct.
Okay. What do you think what is the state of stepping right now in 2016 in your opinion? Wait. Disclaimer.
The views and opinions expressed on this show are solely those of the guests, viewers, and other contributors. These views and opinions do not necessarily represent those of Talking Tea with Tika and co-host Will, its staff, and or any or all contributors of this show.
Okay.
Well, my opinion of the state of stepping right now is it's been monetized. So when you bring money into the equation of anything fun, then the dynamics of it changes. So, I mean, I guess that's kind of it. But if everybody just did it for fun, then the dance would be much further along because you wouldn't have as much bickering back and forth about who's doing this and how they're doing that. So, I mean, like I say, because it's been monetized, the fun, a lot of it has been taken out of the dance.
So,
and that's just my opinion.
Okay, now I think she said, I think the producer, we need to speak up just a little bit.
Okay, just a little bit.
So for those that missed, he said this dance has been monetized. And for that reason, it has taken a lot of the fun out of the dance. So anytime money comes into play,
That's right.
it creates a problem within itself.
Exactly.
So then we start saying who's better or not because it's about money, really. Okay.
Well, summary, Will.
That's good talk right there.
That's a good
No,
talk.
that's
Now,
good talk.
so let me ask you this. So you feel that when it became monetized, the fun left?
For a lot of people. Me, myself, I mean, since I've been doing it so long, I just do it for the love of the dance. I do it because I want to see a smile on the woman's face when I'm dancing with her. If she's having fun, then I know I'm doing something right, okay? But when you start to doing it to pay your bills, then the dynamics change. So that takes the fun out.
What do you think?
I think that's good talk. I have a question for you right there since we there. You mentioned the word fun. So you were saying that it's okay really then to come to this dance or just even come out to socialize.
Oh, absolutely. I might go out and if I don't feel like dancing a lot, then I'm going out and I see people across the room. I'm going over there and I'm talking to them and I'm chilling with this person, I'm chilling with that person. I might dance 5 times, but I've had a wonderful time because I've had the chance to come out, conversate with people, commiserate, and just have a good time. So, I mean, that's what it's all about.
And I can appreciate that, and I can relate to that as a new dancer, a young dancer. For me, oftentimes, I love the music as much as I love the dance.
Absolutely.
And love watching people and taking pictures and having fun. So, you know, some ladies get a little upset if they don't dance a lot on a particular night. I'm just not that way. I'm out to have a good time, socialize. Sure, I like to dance as well, but I don't get caught up on counting the number of dances that I had or did not have on a particular night.
Now, let me ask you, when you were in your learning phase of this dance, was it fun then?
Oh, it was absolutely fun. I was 16. It was an alternative to getting in trouble. I mean, we danced all the time. We would dance on street corners. We would dance in people's basement. Hey man, your mama working tonight? And we have our little private parties. We all get together. We stepping and we having a good time. So wow, those were the days.
Now, your dance, the way that you dance, do you consider your style, because, you know, of course, we've kind of talked about the new school, old school way of doing things, turns up, turns down, a lot of combinations, things of that nature, defining is it new school or is it old school? When you do a lot of turns, is it new school? When you do just a left and a right, is that old school? Do you agree with those philosophies or those definitions? Because you can do both. So
Nah, I really don't agree with when I started dancing. It was more like freestyle, and as time went on, we changed the dance a little bit. But over time, I've grown to do other things. Okay, but what people don't realize is that some of the things I started doing when I first started to do this dance, they're doing now, but they're called the new school. All right, and it's kind of like Philip Bailey says. Sounds don't dissipate, they only recreate another place and time. Same thing with this dance.
Hold on, y'all. Say that again. I'm sorry. Say that again.
Yes.
Sounds don't dissipate.
Yes.
They only recreate in another place and time.
Recreate another place and time. I'm glad I got that recorded. Thank you.
That's already belong to somebody who's sitting in
That's okay.
Okay.
And the same is true for dancing and anything. In fashion and dance, it goes out and it comes back. Look at that wig you got. I mean, that hair you got on. I'm sorry.
This is my
She grew that this morning. I'm sorry.
I changed the color of it. Thank you.
Yeah.
But you think
Producer,
about it.
that camera one fall.
Yes.
But you think about it, you know, ladies wearing the straight hair. Then they went to the afros. Then they went to straight hair. Now they're back to being natural again. So is it really something new?
No.
So dancing. Sometimes I'll do a move and somebody say, I like that move. And it's like, okay, I was doing that when I was 18 or 20 and I forgot about it and somebody did something that looked like it, so it reminded me, and now I'm doing it again. But it's new because it's a whole new generation.
That's good.
Yes.
That's good.
Yes.
Now, you're not the competitive type. I've heard that. You've never competed in the world's largest?
No.
Anything. I know you did some little stuff beginning of the year. Somewhere we were and you did a little contest and we were so excited. But why is that not your thing? Why do you not compete?
Because again, that takes the fun out of dancing for me. And personally, I'm a shy person, so if I'm up there doing yes, believe me. If I'm up there on the stage dancing and it's just me and my partner, or me and two other partners, you know, I get a little shy, and that takes away from my dance. I just want to get out there and have a good time. So I don't equate that with being in a contest.
But you do know we that hurts us. The people that really would love to see you up there doing that, like we've had groups and meetings. They call Ronnie B. Road to Contest competing, and you don't even know about it. But a lot of us get together and we talk about what we can do to convince Ronnie B to compete. I mean, go there for Atlanta. I know you're from Chicago, but go up on a big stage and be like, you know what? Let me show y'all what they doing in the ATL because I'm in the ATL. What y'all think? No.
Okay, so no. What's the real reason for competing? For anybody.
Bragging rights.
Bragging rights. Or you compete to win.
So you can have bragging rights.
Okay. Well, I win all the time.
Ooh.
See?
You're supposed to drink, not laugh.
I'm trying to save my teeth.
Okay. Wow.
I
love it.
When I'm dancing with a young lady and she's smiling and she's having fun, I'm winning.
I love it.
So I don't really care about who's watching me because my eyes on that lady that I'm dancing with to make sure that she's having the best dance possible. So that's just Ronnie B's philosophy.
No, all right.
Well, I guess we'll have to expand our meetings. We don't need to have those anymore because that's not going to work.
Yeah.
It's not going to work.
Yeah.
Would you ever coach someone to do a contest? Like, would you be a trainer for a person that's going to the world's largest?
He's already done it.
Ain't nobody asked you to say that. And he won. Let me go back. Would you ever consider coaching someone to go to the world's largest or any other contest?
I will, and I have, but that person have to leave their ego at the door. They have to come in with a blank slate because if they've come to me to learn, then to learn what I'm going to teach them, or to be able to do some of the things that I do, I need to have them have a foundation that I'm able to build on. So a lot of guys and women as well, they figure, okay, well, he's treating me like a beginner. Well, no, I'm not treating you like a beginner, but I need a foundation that I can build on. So when I give you that foundation, then you can do some of the things that you've come to me for. But a lot of people are not serious, so I don't really get involved. But if they're serious, I will.
Are there, would it make more sense for if someone wants to come to you, first of all, they come to you recommended by someone that maybe you know what they're teaching in terms of a foundation? Would it make it easier in terms of a transition, or do you find that most times you have to change it anyway? Well, not change it, but make it more feasible for you to grow from, if that makes sense.
That does make sense. It depends on, like you said, where they're coming from and what type of foundation they have already. If they have a sound basic, then I can work with that. If they're not in it just to play, I just want to learn turns. Well, turns are only part of the dance. There's footwork, there's combinations, and to do the combinations that you need to win in a contest, then you need to be in the right place at the right time. And that requires being on the correct foot. And if you've never had that training and it's not inherent in you, then you're going to find yourself doing a basic every time you do a move because you have to start it.
Oh, to start. Wow. You see him coming? Okay. So you're saying that they won't be able to flow into the next move because they haven't figured out how to put the feet in the right place.
Exactly.
So when men come to you, do you find that they mostly want to have moves?
Exactly.
When women come to you, what do you typically get from them?
Money?
No.
No. No.
Like what they typically want. They say, hey, maybe I want you to teach me some footwork. I mean, what is normally what they say to you when they come to you?
Well, they don't really come to me. A lot of times they'll go to Rhonda. Okay. And if they do come to me, I'll say, you need to see Rhonda so that she can give you the foundation that you need that I can build on. So they learn to do the turns on their own. Okay. And then I come in and I'll give them the turns that she's just taught. Okay. So I'm kind of the assistant in teaching right now. Okay. Which makes it great because sometimes you go to an instructor and it's only that one instructor, a male or a female. Well, I can't teach women how to be sexy and fluent in the dance. I can, but it's better received from a woman. Correct. So when women come to Rhonda, they get both sides. They get to learn how she's dancing with them, or how to do the move, and they learn how to execute the move when I step in.
Y'all heard that, Dean.
He's been using a lot of SAT words and trying to keep up.
What does that mean?
You didn't hear all the SAT words?
No, I can't hear if it's wig. We're going to go ahead and go into our topic, and thank you for being willing. Thank you.
Not a problem.
And I know you and I will see each other. We will see you again for 17, because I'm hoping that you're going to tell me that you have some new music coming out for 17 that you want to debut on our show.
Well, I will be working on a few things, but I'm trying to let the 16 thing ride. There's still some songs on there that people are not abreast of. So.
When are you going to get the Talking Tea with Tika's song finished?
Have I started?
That's good.
And for those that don't know, in case y'all don't know this, he has some CDs out. You need to get them.
Beautiful? Is it beautiful?
Beautiful. Y'all
oh
hear? Now, hold on. They don't know that one yet. Hold on. Let me take one they all should know across the country. Bootsy Love. This is Bougie Love. Bougie Love. That's where it comes from right there. And that's newest one out now. It's beautiful. Man, it's beautiful. Y'all gotta check them out.
It's beautiful. Take all of my phones home. Okay, anyway. So thank you for joining our panel today. Thank you for your great music. Great. What's the name of the one you have the Tupac on?
That's called What's This World Coming To?
Oh, that one right there? It's up there with Life in the Country. It's up there. I'm just letting you know.
I appreciate it.
Just in case y'all don't know, my favorite song
Is
Life in the Country. I named it all of it. I think it's just called Life in the Country, but I named it all of it. Life in the Country is fine. Not everything. Do you know that song?
I do.
Can you do a remix on it and then make it like a jingle for Talking to the TV?
I can do that.
Can you have Tupac rapping on it?
I'll call him tonight.
Put K. John, mix K. John's
No!
thing in with her. 'Cause
Yes.
you gotta blend them somewhere or another.
No, don't.
For the jingle.
I don't like that song. That or that Hercules song is too long. But anyway, I digress. All right. Hush. Do you think men are intimidated when women make more than them?
Sometimes. Yeah. But I think it's a twofold thing. Sometimes the woman start to act a little different, because she's making more money. And it's really not about that. If you're one, then all the money is y'all's for you know what I'm saying? All the money belongs to the house. You know what I'm saying? So just because you make more money than your man, don't mean that you need to act like you his man.
Oh my
That's-
God. Oh, that's so.
That's
I don't
good.
even have enough. This tea is not enough.
that's good.
Like, this needs to be
That's
good
some
talk.
tea.
That's good stuff.
That is. Oh.
I think women, when they do that, they make men feel less than and make the men feel like, oh, she doesn't need me anyway.
Right.
So why am I even here?
Right.
Especially when she keeps throwing the money in his face.
Can a woman be too strong?
What is too strong anyway?
That's what I'm
Let me
asking.
tell you something.
I mean, can a woman just be too doggone strong?
No,
Can
me
you be too
personally,
strong?
I don't like me personally. I have never been attracted to a weak woman.
Okay.
Never.
Okay, so
I
what's a
like.
weak
I'm
woman?
explaining that to you.
Okay.
I like women that all the women I've ever dated in my life has been independent.
Okay.
When I meet them, they know how to take care of themselves. They know how to take care of life. I'm only, as they come into my life, we come into each other's life to become an asset one to the other. When I say a weak woman, I mean a woman that's sitting around dependent, waiting on some guy to take care of her.
Okay.
In other words, I like to know that if I say, hey, babe, I don't want you to work anymore, take care of the house. I know that she's going to, if that light bill is wrong, the gas bill is wrong, whatever's wrong, she's going to get on that phone and call as if I'm calling and say, listen, no, you need to fix this now.
Yeah.
And I said, well, okay, you can, don't worry about it, we'll take care of it. I don't want to hear that. No. To me, an independent woman knows how to take care of business.
Okay, so I'm going to take that and I'm going to lead it to this. And I don't like to separate my audience because I know the audience is mixed with all different nationalities. But I'm a black woman, so I can only speak from a black woman's perspective. I'm light skinned, but at any rate, I am a black woman, so it's the only perspective I can speak from. You made me lose my train of thought. Okay. So since women a lot have had to be the main person in the home, they've had to handle everything because wherever the man is, wherever he's, I'm not going to say he's whatever.
Well, yeah.
We all know that a lot of women have had to take on both roles.
Correct.
All right. So you have a lot of women that feel, hey, I don't need a man because I make my own money, I pay my own bills, I can take care of my own children. I don't need a man. Is that a fair statement for us as black women to say that we don't need a man?
No, it's not.
It's not a fair statement?
No, it's not. For me, I'm single. That's why I'm here today. And so I've learned to do a lot of things on my own. If I need something done, I'm going to try to figure it out. I have my sister with me. The two of us are there. We're trying to figure it out. But at the same time, if I'm in the presence of man, I'm not touching the door. So if I'm walking out like when we coming from a party, I'm coming up and I'm standing there waiting for somebody to come up and open the door. Because I know that there's still, what is the word?
Chivalry is not dead.
And I think that there's still men out there who respect women, who want to do these things for women. So don't be mad if I walk up to a door and just stand there and wait for you to open it.
In fact, I'm going to go up a step further and tell you, if you were any man and y'all call yourself dating, and he don't open your car door, don't open your door when you go in, you're going to dump him now because I'm taking all you, the disrespect going to get worse.
Exactly.
But is it fair to say that is disrespect? We're in a different time now where I know I saw a couple walking down the street. It's something that my husband has a huge pet peeve about. If we're walking down a street, he's going to walk on the outside.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But you'll see youth nowadays, they don't even think of, it's not, I don't think they're doing it being rude or being disrespectful. They are just not taught.
Exactly.
Now, but I'm going to say in the age group that we are in right now, not the new, like my son, he's going to open the door for his mama. He's going to do those things. If we going in the street, if his mama, he's going to get to the curb and she's going to be on the inside because he's been taught that.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not talking about the youth of today. Youth of today, unfortunately, no one has taken the time to teach them. So yeah, a lot of the chivalry stuff that we talk about, yeah, it's died out as a result.
Right,
Yeah.
but I also think that women in the workplace, as women have begun to work more and more through the 70s and the 80s, you had to be able to place that chivalry and kind of leave it at home while in the office. When you go to the door, going through the door for a business meeting, you're not, I mean, are you going to stand back and wait for somebody to open the door for you? Maybe, maybe not. You need to get through the door and get to the meeting. And so you have to know when to balance it. I don't know if it's fair to say that I don't need a man. I really don't think we should say that because I think that's degrading to men. I think it is, that I don't need you. Why would we ever say that? I mean, that we don't need a man. Sure, we are independent. We can handle things. We can work. We can pay our bills and so on. But, you know, I understand they may not need a man to do that.
You need him for some other things.
But I need a man.
But here's a question. Here's a question for you while we're here. So let me ask you ladies a question on this topic here. So when you were or are with someone, a man, okay, and do you sleep more sound at night with him there or without him there? Not you.
Oh.
Thank you. No, but, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
I would say more sound.
Because you feel the protection.
Yeah, so I know if I hear something crackling, I ain't moving.
Right.
But if I'm in the bed by myself, yeah, I gotta move. I either gotta pick up the machete or the hammer or the bat, something, but I gotta move.
Did you say a machete? A machete?
Not machete, but
I'm a machete.
a hammer or a bat. All that about her bed. All right. Hey, y'all. Don't do it. You're gonna get cut. You're gonna get beat to death, and then you'll get batted back out of the bed.
I'm just saying.
Jeez, okay.
Yeah.
But clearly, a man brings about a sense of security. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Do you want to answer?
No, I don't want to.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
Hey, baby. No. Okay, anyway. Okay. What does the phrase, let him be a man, mean?
Oh.
Now, this is an old school term. I remember my mom, not mom, no. Go back further. Your mother. She would, you hear older people say, like if a man does something he shouldn't do. You know, you all been out of shape and the old women come back. Let me tell you something. Let that man be a man. What does that mean?
Miss Maxine, she did say that about you a few minutes ago.
Mama name?
Yeah, she did say that a few minutes ago. She just said that about you. But it wasn't your mama she was talking about. She said that about you.
No,
go ahead.
I can't.
I
What
know
does
you
that
listening.
mean?
That-
What does that mean?
I think that goes back to when women didn't have a lot of money and able to provide for themselves. They had to depend on a man to take care of the family. So if you didn't let him be the man or do the things that he wanted to do, which was may have been, out there doing what he wanted to do, then if he left, then you were stuck with nothing.
Yeah.
But that's old talk.
Yeah.
That's old
Definitely
talk.
old school. Yeah.
I mean, women, in my opinion, are to be to be loved and respected. So if you let me be a man, then me being a man is gonna be is providing for you, or helping to provide for you. Fixing things when they're wrong, having somebody to talk to. It depends on the respect that a man has for a woman.
Yes.
So you can't. That's not just a blanket statement of let a man be a man, because
it doesn't have the same definition that it had back then. Because you still have, in my opinion, I think you still have men that want a woman that's going to have that traditional role.
Exactly.
Take care of the kids, cook, clean. They want that, but they don't want to be the traditional man, meaning providing for that woman.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, I won't pay the man, but I'm just going to say this for everybody else. I sit at home and I cook, I clean, because I don't do that. I clean. I digress. I don't cook. But anyway,
I was looking at the cleaning part.
If you want a woman to give you that traditional woman thing, why aren't you giving that woman that traditional man thing?
What is that?
Working.
If I say something on that, I think the reality is because of the time in which we live in now. Well, hold on, let's go back. I want you to say that. I would simply say, yes, you can stay at home full time. But also keep in mind that all the stuff you want to go out and shop and buy, want to live in a big fine house, then no, we can't live like that. We have to bring that. We have to live within our means. Maybe that 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom house, and you can't go shopping when you want to, because why? The kind of income with the way the market is today won't allow for it. Because man, back when I could buy a soda pop or a pop wherever you're from for $0.25. Sometimes I take the bottle back and get a nickel back for the bottle. So you're not going to, soda's what? So 16 ounce, $1.29, depends on where you go now. So the economy has not made room for us to live like that now. It's not just.
But you got a lot of guys that still have that mentality. I'm telling you.
Depends what kind of money they're making. Depends what kind of money they're making, though.
True. Go ahead.
It's a comment. Even though we may be equal in income, the man is still the man. Give him the respect as head of the house and backbone of the family.
That's it.
Because guess what? At the end of the day, you all were not put here to be in charge. I didn't say it. I didn't say this now. That's Bible.
Yeah.
You were not put here to be in charge. You were put here to be a helpmeet.
Right.
And if your money is more than what I make, you still a helpmeet.
This is true.
And and there's nothing wrong with that. Because what it is, here's the reality. You have to keep in mind, how do you continue to stay blessed? When you get out of pocket, then you start cutting your blessings off. I didn't make the rules.
But also with that, we have to go back a little bit. And we're not going to preach to you, but let's go back a little bit.
We're going to do it.
Well, let's just go back just a little bit.
Yeah.
Because in order for one thing to happen, there are some prerequisites to that.
Absolutely.
That man has to be treating that woman right.
Oh, he better.
So
Yeah.
I'm
better.
sorry,
He
but
better.
if men, if
better.
you're not treating your woman with respect and the things that she needs and being that sounding board and being all that other stuff, she's not going to do the other part. You can
Absolutely.
forget it.
Absolutely.
It's not going to happen. I'm going to ask you this. Can we as black women be too bossy?
Well, what is too bossy?
I don't know. I'm just asking y'all. I'm just going to drink this.
I think bossy may come into play when you look at what we've been talking about before, when a woman's been single and she's been doing all these things on her own for so many years, so that now that she's in the company of a man, she still wants it done on her own time when she wants it done. So I think that when we were talking about nagging last show, I think that's where the bossiness comes in, because you're so used to doing things when you want it, you get it done. Now you're trying to give him the space to be the man. But, we sometimes, you're not doing it fast enough, you're taking too long. So then that bossiness or that nagging may come into play.
But is that...
So I don't know if it's right, but I think that's when
Well, how do you change from that, though? How do you change from being the woman that had to do it all, so now you meet a man that wants to do it all, but it takes time for you to pull back.
I answer that for you.
Well, I think you got to be aware, first of all,
Yeah.
that you are that bossy type. I mean, women, to your point, I mean, women are running businesses now, so they don't have a boss in many environments.
Yeah.
But you have to pull back and place it and realize that you are not going to be able to sustain a relationship long term being the bossy you. And you've got to realize who you are, own it, and try to make a change and pull back a little bit. And respect him with the same respect that you want to receive.
Now,
But swipe it.
okay, go
But
ahead.
also keep it. But see, we ain't gonna preach. But it's still some realities that are still here. When I know with Dr. Shabadal, I'm an alpha male.
Okay.
I know my lady Tanya is an alpha female. Because it's the strengths that they match up. Which we call that in the word what? Evenly yoked. When you meet a guy, oh, come on now. When you meet a guy or a female, if y'all are not evenly yoked, and we're not talking you might be in the same church with her. We're talking simply about lifestyles. If you know you're a strong woman, me, I can't take no weak woman because I'm a real strong man. So a weak woman, most of the time, wear their feathers on their shoulder or their sleeve, they can't handle me. Likewise, when you get with a guy, if this guy is a weak man, then he can't handle that part. If you boss and say, well, I'm just doing myself, I said, baby, thank you, I'm going about my business. I'm not gonna be all upset and feel like, oh, she just don't wanna submit. Thank you for doing it. And we're gonna keep moving. So that's where the disconnect, because all of us want to be loved and feel loved. So many times we subject ourselves to a partner that you know already from day one is not working. But we are staying a thing because we don't want to be alone.
Right. One of the things that comes to mind too is like, when you talk about being a boss in terms of work, it's almost like as a woman, when I finish being the boss from 9 to 5,
Yes.
what do I want to feel when I get home?
Yes, exactly.
And when I get home,
Yes.
I want to take that hat off and I
Yes.
want to be treated differently.
Yes.
Right. Treated like
Yes.
right.
You want to be that queen, that you just walk in your house, the queen is home.
Right.
And
Exactly.
see, that's what I think needs to happen. Couples have to kind of check the ego at the door.
Yes.
And when they walk through that door, they realize, listen, it's not you and me against each other.
No. Right.
It's you and me against the world.
Yes.
And I think as long as couples understand that we are not trying to hurt each other,
Right.
that's the key piece. We are not trying to hurt each other. Even if I may say it and it's a little, rough or abrasive because of the type of day that I had, if I came to you and I said, that was a little rough the way you said it. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean. They're willing to fix it, right?
Yes.
And that's a whole
That's a
nother
big piece.
show.
Yes.
Whole
Yes.
nother
Big
show.
piece.
Yes.
Sometimes it's like, oh, you like it, and then okay, wait
Right.
now.
No, but
Don't do your neck back too far, because I'm
Yeah.
right. But
the whole thing just changed.
right,
You just
but
changed.
oftentimes when you fix it, it just melts away.
But if I know you as my helpmeet, whichever way you're looking at, if I know you, I don't take that personal from you.
See.
I'm like, my baby done had a
rough
rough day.
Right. That's good. Because you know.
Yeah.
I know you, so I
Yeah,
know
yeah.
you. Go ahead.
But sometimes people don't let things go. All right?
Yes.
Say it
Yeah.
and let it go. So I mean, if we got a problem in the club, then I'm gonna keep smiling, or you should keep smiling. It goes back to an old statement: praise in public, criticize in private.
Yes. Yes.
You keep your business to yourself.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you get
Yes.
home and you say, well, I didn't appreciate that, and you was like, but when you tell somebody that, be it the man or the woman, they need to be humble and say, okay,
Yes.
I understand where you're coming from, and I will try not to do that again.
Right.
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
And when I say that, or when she says that, then the conversation should change. Then
Yes.
it's not. But you did this last week, and then blah blah blah. Let it, like you said, just say it and let it go and move on from there. And I mean, if it continues to happen, then you're not evenly yoked.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Because you don't care about her.
You know,
Then you move
somebody's
on.
care about something.
You don't really care.
You got a question? Comment?
Comments. Speak to the nature of men and women.
The with nature.
And another comment that came with this is our relationships are not working because the natures are not respected. They're not properly understood, rather. They're not properly understood. So the nature of a man and the nature of a woman, they're not properly understood once we get into a relationship.
Gotcha.
Ooh, wait.
Yeah.
Okay, so who would like to speak on the nature of a woman?
Yeah.
I think we have to take the time to learn, first of all, ourselves.
Yes.
And take the time to learn men. I mean, I've been in, from church trainings, small chit-chatting, where men talk about men. And we know that men have egos like we were talking about last week. There's nothing wrong with stroking a man's ego.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
You're
So
right.
sometimes we have to humble ourselves when we say we want to be in a relationship, and sometimes we're not even ready. Because we're not even ready to humble ourselves. We're not ready to, to stroke our men's ego.
But humble means I'm not strong. It goes
That's
back
how
to
it's
strong
referred,
black woman.
yes.
It's the mentality.
Right.
If I'm submissive to you, now in some women's mind, I'm no longer that strong black
But
woman.
that actually
But
makes
that's
you strong.
Right.
That actually makes you strong.
Exactly.
Humility makes all of us strong.
Right.
I mean, that's male or female.
Right.
Humility makes you strong.
Right.
Because it shows this soft side of you. Because the soft side of you don't mean you're weak.
Right.
It means you know how to identify and be strong in that area. Come on, God.
Speak to some more about the nature of a woman.
Yeah, the nature of a woman. I think, women can be, are, and can be extremely sensitive. And to your point, sometimes we don't let things go. And I think the challenge is that men can kind of hit something and move on. And sometimes they're like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. And may not tap into that sensitivity to say, you know what? I need to take a moment with her. And I need her to understand I made a mistake. I recognize that it bothers you. I won't do it again. And once you kind of own it and say, I'm going to try not to do it again, then we can move on. I think what happens oftentimes is that men often avoid difficult conversations. They don't like the conflict because I think if it in any way is going to interfere with the possibility of romance later, they prefer not to talk about it. And that bothers women.
That's your bottom dollar.
We feel like we're sweeping it under the rug
We ain't talking about
and not
that.
really addressing it. And when they sweep, when the things are swept under the rug, it almost gives them permission for it to do it again without owning it. Because it's like,
But to add to that too, again, knowing men and learning women, for women, romance starts from the early part of the day.
it's true.
And can take all day long. You romance all day long, you ain't gonna have no problems with the romance.
That's right.
Because you're building her up. And it's about learning each other and understanding that men are built this way. Willie, you were talking about that last time. Men are built this way. Women are both built this way. Let's learn how to tap into that and make it an asset instead of a disadvantage.
Well, I want to speak a little bit about the nature of a woman, from my opinion.
Come on.
The nature of a woman, first, of course, we have to feel like we're being heard. We're genetically made where we have to say a certain amount of words a day. People don't think about that, but women, we have to say. You ever feel like you've been gagged? You can't. It's like you need to. I gotta say something. Like I don't even know what I need to say, but I need to say something because it's just the way that we're made. So we don't have anyone we can bounce things off, and sometimes we want to talk to y'all, and we really don't want y'all to answer. We just want you to sit there and go. That's it. We have to be heard. We have to feel like you got us regardless. I'm going to be the first to say, I am a very, very difficult woman at times. I'm a very...
I'm in there listening mode. She said I was in there listening, right?
But you wasn't doing like this.
I'm listening.
You wasn't doing like this. So I'm too hard. I'm a very difficult woman, and I know people are going to find this very, very hard to believe. But just like Ronnie B, I'm actually a shy person as well. I am. I'm a very shy person by nature.
Tika.
Really? Really? Y'all just don't sip it in front of me? Y'all just don't do that? Okay. Well, I am. I am a shy person. I have a lot of things that I deal with in my head. And I have so much going on in my head. I don't know if you guys remember, but a couple of weeks ago on Facebook, I was constantly up going, I can't sleep. It went on for like a week till my body just finally crashed. I could not move. I mean, it kept me in the bed the whole day. I mean, I'm balled up. I'm crying. I don't even didn't know how to. I know I'm not the only woman that deals with that.
No.
And men may deal with it too, but I think us as women, it's so much that we want for our families. It's so much that we want to accomplish. And sometimes when we look at our lives and see that we haven't gotten there, or there could be a lot of opportunities. There's a lot of opportunities that have come to Will and I as a result of this show. And with me being the host, if you will, it's a lot of stuff to try to dissect.
Yeah.
Because I have people's somewhat of their lives, you know, somewhat in my hand. I'm like, can I trust this person to come with me? Can I trust this? Can I trust that? Who's around me that I need to be watching? Oh, and I still got to go to the court and mediate. Oh, I still got a husband I got to cook for. Oh, so it's the cooking thing is wearing me out. Shut up. And cooking and cleaning. I think if I can get rid of that, I think I can work the rest of this stuff out.
Hey, here's a trick for you. I'm gonna help you out on that one. What you do is you cook a meal that's gonna last 3 days, and you down for 3 days. You
I
got
don't do leftovers.
Not you. That's for
Oh, for
everybody.
them. Oh,
Yes.
whatever.
Because we don't care. We don't eat.
But I mean, for real. I mean, honestly, the nature of the woman. Women, do you guys agree with that? Give me some
I'm
heart.
with you.
Women, I mean, we have so much stuff that sometimes we don't even want to talk to our girlfriends about. Like, it's not a girlfriend conversation. It's more like it's a God conversation for sure. But outside of that, sometimes we just want to talk to our man or just a good male friend. I have several male friends that I can talk to, and it may be something I may not want to share with Candyman, but it's not, it's just something because I just want to be able to talk and not feel, not that Candyman judges me, but just a little bit different. So, you know what, I need to bounce this off somebody else. I mean, I don't know. But that's the nature, somewhat of a nature of a woman. We sometimes feel stifled in our speech. We don't know who to talk to. So I think sometimes you get that bossiness or that naggy or you got an attitude thing from us, and it's not even you. Because I had Myron come home and say, baby, what's wrong with you? You got an attitude today. And he literally had just got home. He hasn't done anything to me, and I'm trying to figure out why. I see him with an attitude. I don't even know why. So I think we have so much stuff in us that's not coming out, I think.
But it's important that you realize that you just created a situation, and you backed up. Man, I'm sitting here with an attitude and I don't know why. You can check that then. But if you move forward on that, oh, you're not listening to me, then it becomes a problem. Because if you approach me that way, not me per se, but if you approach somebody, man or woman, then it becomes combative.
Right.
All right? And now we're who's in the position of power at that point? So now we're going back and forth, and before you know it, we forgot what it is that started the argument.
Which was
But
at the start,
we're both too proud to say, you know what?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Let's tear this down. Let's start over.
Yeah.
And speaking of the nature of men and women, well, is there really a nature? I mean, before women used to act like this, men used to act like that. I've heard women say, well, that's what men do. That was maybe, back in the 60s. But guess what? Women sometimes are as bad as men because they know they have these opportunities. And now, so that their mindsets change, they figure, okay, well, I can have 2 or 3 men like you can have 2 or 3 women. So it's not about what a man or a woman does, it's what people do. And that's going to be based on how you feel about your mate. What level of respect do you have for him? So, I mean, anybody can beat anybody.
Yeah.
And for respect for yourself,
Yeah.
too.
Because, it's like, if Tanya come home and starts now looking like, you all right, babe? That's my question because I know what it was. I haven't done anything that I know of. And so my question then to her, you all right, babe? Because now I want to know. So I'm not going to try to jump in there because she snapped at me. So I don't take that at me. Only if I know I've done something, I'm like, here we go, That's what I'm saying. But I'm like, but I know if I haven't done anything, then I'm like, babe, what's going on? You all right? Because you have to be that help me to identify that whatever something else is going on with your partner. And like you said, you can't go going back and forth now because now what wasn't your problem, now it is your problem. It's on something different now. And we've got to get better with communication. I told you, go
Go ahead.
I told you all the other day. I said, y'all write this down, this is good stuff. I said that life and relationship is a triangle with a circle around it. When I talked to y'all about that, we was at the event. I said that on each triangle you got love, sex, you got money, and you got communication. That's the triangle. Wrapped around it, the circle is love. And the problem is, love can sustain at least one of those areas if the triangle is broken. But if the triangle, but the piece of it that's broken, if the communication is broken, love struggles to sustain that area because communication is key. Now, if sex is broken or you don't have any money, as you said earlier, this brought up, we black, we're used to not having money sometimes. So we know how to function and keep moving. But if sex and money is broken, now the love has trouble sustaining those two.
I agree.
So we have to get to a place where we have to understand that we got to learn how to love each other beyond all things. Because he said that greater of everything is love.
All right, now.
It is. You're right.
And I think, in terms of relationships, it really shouldn't be this complicated because men and women really do want the same thing. A respectful, mature, productive, romantic relationship. I think the challenge comes in when the two parties are not communicating, have their own agenda, think you're heading in one direction, but somebody kind of has a hidden agenda and is not willing to fully communicate openly about what their ideas and what their plans are.
Yes,
good.
that's good.
That is
Oh,
good.
that's
good.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I'm sorry, but speaking of communication, that saying, men are from Mars, women are from Venus. If I understand that we don't communicate the same way, then maybe I need to learn your language.
Hello.
Okay?
Hello.
So that when you say one thing, maybe you mean another. But if I don't try to understand the language that you're spewing at me, then it's always gonna sound like wah, 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 wah,
Oh, yeah.
wah.
See, you gonna charge him for that?
Now he coming up there. That's what I'm charged. You just got charged.
Oh, what did you just say?
I missed that.
Okay, never mind. Go ahead.
Wah, wah, wah. It's just gonna sound like white noise. Wah,
Yeah,
wah, wah,
yeah.
wah.
So I mean, we listen as people. We listen differently.
Yeah.
Okay. So some people, if you're having a conversation for them, they're listening for the key points to respond.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you're listening for the key points to respond and you're waiting on one word, you've missed the whole paragraph.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So when I say that one word, that
Trigger word,
that
maybe.
trigger word that pulls you in to say, okay, yeah, that's what I was right. That's what you jump on. You know what I'm saying? And not just women, but men.
Yeah.
So we got to start to listen to the whole conversation as opposed to those few words that verifies what we think about people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think also sometimes even when they're talking and it's womp, 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 we're listening to respond, not listening to really understand.
There you
That's
go.
right.
Or connect,
Or
and really
connect.
understand where they're coming from. And I often say when a couple doesn't understand each other, and as a woman, I will say sometimes that he doesn't hear my octave. Because you hear, out in the wild, where a female can make a mating call and the man, I don't care where he is,
That's good
he
stuff.
hears her specifically. Out of all the calls
That's so good.
in the wild,
Good.
he hears her call.
Hey, Lord.
I feel that one. That is good. That's
I say that he does not hear my octave. Because no matter how many times I try to explain it or say it or do it differently, he's just not connected.
Wow.
Yeah,
I don't even, I don't.
Good stuff there.
That is some, you know what?
Man,
I think we just gonna end the show.
I think that's a good
Oh
ending
my
spot.
God.
Yeah.
That resonate.
He cannot hear my
Can't
Now,
hear
hit
my
my
octave.
off. Pat that. If not, I
Can't
will.
hear my octave.
Oh.
Pat
All right.
So
that.
now I know.
I'm
Now I know what I'm looking for, Tika.
What?
Somebody that can hear
Your
my
octave.
octave.
or the right tree. You might be standing wrong tree.
Hear my comments. What we talked about last We got a moment for
Let's
that?
close that. It's only about 3 minutes long.
Okay.
Okay, listen
All
to
right.
this, guys. This is good.
So I've just learned, you know,
Yeah.
I've only been stepping about a year and a half, almost 2 years, and I've learned a lot about relationships in stepping, just having a fun time. But as, you know, Tika kind of asked me to think about this, I thought about stepping and the relationship that's required in the dance and the partnership. And I thought about all of the workshops I attended and the one nugget that I take away from every workshop or class. And so this is kind of where I landed. I've learned partnership from my first instructor, Troy. And he said this is a 3-minute relationship. And for it to be its best, both have to do some work. I've learned from Will, trust. Because he will often ask during the dance, like when you start out, he'll look over his glasses and ask, who's leading this? Who's leading this? And he says, I know you're strong, but I got this. Don't you think this 6, whatever, 2, whatever, got you? Right. I learned from Greg, also from YOLO, to take your time. That this is not to be rushed. Okay, I'll pay you for that one. This thing is not to be rushed, because rushing things can ruin things. Okay? I learned from Ivy, also, never forget the fundamentals. Always go back to the fundamentals. I learned from Rhonda, okay, that be you. Walk your walk. Don't try to walk like anybody else, but just be natural and walk your walk. I learned from Ronnie B. Be consistent. Stop all that bouncing. Stop all that bouncing, right? I've learned from Sherry Gordon. Embrace your role. Embrace your role. As a woman, embrace your role. And as a leader, embrace your role. And she says that it's also important to have be a strong leader if you're going to be a leader, and be a light follower. And be a light follower, okay? I learned from Andre Blackwell. Relax, but keep it moving. Because you know he likes to keep it, move your feet, relax, but keep it moving. I've learned from Drew Alexander that there's an order to things, okay? That the basics are the basics. It's always going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Every once in a while you might drop a 7, 8, but it's always 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, okay? I learned from Cheryl Sugarfoot. Feel it. It's in the hands. You got to feel the music. You got to feel the relationship, okay? And if the strong lead's not directing you properly, have a little footwork on your own. Okay? I learned from Devan Iceman the importance of respect, okay, for one another. And if a guy's out there doing all this, and put your hand up nicely. You don't have to get loud and be loud. Put your hand up, and you don't necessarily have to turn. Just kind of flow with it. I learned from Sean James. Keep it classy. And always, always, always be a lady. Okay? I learned from Sarah Teagle and Yvette that ladies can lead if they have to. We don't necessarily want to, but if we have to, we can get in there and lead.
That's good.
I've learned from Ed Donaldson, who we really, everybody knows, one of the world's largest, right?
The king.
The
How
king.
can we forget?
How can we forget? That kings are confident, okay? And to your point of earlier, you know, stroke the ego. We don't want arrogance. We want confidence. And it's okay if he's stunned. Let him stun. You should praise that and celebrate that, because if you don't, who will? Okay? So that's kind of what I've learned from Stephanie.
That is, I need a copy of that.
Boy,
Blown
let me
up.
tell you something. Here we're talking
In
to
bold.
Tika, and
Co-host
we
Will.
plays no games. People that we bring on this show, they're going to bring you something that you can take away from that show. Whether it's a technique to dancing, telling you where it started and what it should be now and how it's changed from. What was your main point? No, you know yours. Yours was more of letting him be a man. No, it was Machete. We'll go here. Making sure your octave can be heard, and just understanding that sometimes that octave is not being heard. So it's not necessarily that you're not saying it, it's just not being received by the right ear.
That's right. That's right. That's good stuff.
And then whatever he taught, and then my hair. That's it.
That's it.
So on that note, guys, Thank you so much for tuning in to Talking Tea with Tika, and
Co-host Will.
don't forget to like our page at Talking Tea with Tika. We're trying to get it set up where all this is going to switch over to Talking Tea with Tika's page. So we're going to go on, we're trying for 17 to all go over there, but until then, you will see the feeds on the individual pages, but we're really trying to get folks to go over there. So if you have not liked the page or subscribed, please do so. Talking Tea with Tika. We love you guys. Make it a blessed one. We have not decided whether we're going to be on for next Saturday, which is the 24th, which is Christmas Eve. We'll get with the producers. We'll put something out and let you guys know. I'm thinking we should take some time out to be with family. That's what I'm thinking.
I agree 100% on that.
Have a party at Wanda B's house. What you saying?
I agree 100% on that.
Right. Well, we love you
guys. So we got to listen, guys. Make sure you also go to the Talking Tea with Tika YouTube channel.
Yes.
Because, you know, sometimes with Facebook, the feeds they get so far away from all the stuff going on. Go to YouTube. Look for Talking Tea with Tika.
Yes.
2016. Everything is all over there. If you miss any of the shows, go there. Guys, we are trying our best to make sure you have no reasons to say you couldn't find a show. Except the one they hijacked on us.
Yeah, we still have
don't happen with that. But that's
But this is like our 21st show. So you guys can binge watch the show. Like
Yes.
I'm just
On
saying.
the 24th. on the 24th, binge watch.
Binge
Enjoy.
watch.
Go back. There's a lot of good stuff.
That's good.
All right,
All
guys.
right.
Well, we love you guys.
Love ya.